I've got you. When billionaire CEO's little girls cry, a struggling single dad rescues them. The rain came down in sheets, turning the city's golden skyline into a blur of tears and glass. On the corner of 5th and Rosewood, a flickering streetlight fought to stay alive, much like Ethan Cole, who stood beneath it, clutching his worn jacket tighter around him. Once a paramedic, now a single dad working double shifts at a gas station, Ethan had one rule: keep moving forward, no matter how heavy life got. That night, he was late again picking up his daughter, Lily, from his neighbor's apartment. He could already picture her tiny face pressed against the window, waiting. The thought made him press harder on the gas. But just before the green light flashed, a sharp cry sliced through the storm. "Children!" Ethan hit the brakes and squinted through the downpour. Two little girls, no older than 6 or 7, stood on the sidewalk, drenched, shivering, and terrified. A sleek black SUV stood nearby, engine running, headlights cutting through the rain. One of the girls had scraped her knee. The other was crying uncontrollably. And in the driver's seat no one. "Hey, hey." Ethan's voice softened as he rushed over, crouching down beside them. "It's okay, I've got you." The older girl, trembling, whispered, "Daddy." "Daddy, didn't he come back?" Ethan's chest tightened. He scanned the area, no sign of anyone. Just rain, thunder, and the city's cruel indifference. He guided the girls to his car, wrapped them in his jacket, and drove straight to the nearest hospital. Inside the ER, as doctors examined the girls, Ethan sat by them, letting one cling to his hand while the other fell asleep against his shoulder. He didn't ask questions, just stayed, humming the same lullaby he used to sing to Lily. Then the doors burst open. A tall man in a soaked designer suit rushed in, his eyes wild, searching until they found the girls. He froze. Relief crashed over him like a wave, followed by something else: disbelief. "Who are you?" he demanded, voice raw. Ethan stood, hesitating. "Just someone who found them." "They were scared." But before he could finish, the man crossed the room and dropped to his knees, hugging his daughters tightly. His voice cracked. "I thought I lost you. I just turned around for a minute." The older girl interrupted, pointing to Ethan. "Daddy, he helped us. He said, 'I've got you.'" The billionaire CEO of Montgomery Enterprises, Alexander Montgomery himself, turned to Ethan. The rain still glistened on his hair, his tailored shirt clinging to him like guilt. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then quietly, he extended his hand. "Thank you." Ethan shook it, awkwardly. "They're brave kids. I just did what anyone would be done." But Alexander's gaze lingered, noticing Ethan's threadbare shoes, the oil stains on his sleeves, the exhaustion in his eyes. "Not everyone would be stopped," he said softly. 2 weeks later, Ethan returned from work to find a luxury car parked outside his apartment complex, wildly out of place among the cracked sidewalks and flickering neon signs. Alexander Montgomery stood beside it, holding a manila envelope and an expression that didn't match his usual headlines. "I wanted to thank you properly," he said, offering the envelope. Ethan frowned. "That's not necessary." "It's not money," Alexander replied. "It's a job." Inside the envelope, a contract. Private driver and security detail for Montgomery Enterprises. Full benefits. Health insurance. A salary Ethan hadn't seen in years. "I don't." "Why me?" Ethan asked quietly. Because you didn't see my daughters as the Montgomery twins, Alexander said. You saw two little girls who needed someone to care. That's the kind of person I want near them. Ethan stared down at the paper, hands trembling. For the first time in a long while, he didn't know what to say. Weeks turned into months. Ethan's life began to change not overnight, but steadily. His daughter, Lily, and the twins became inseparable. Alexander, once distant and consumed by work, started showing up to picnics, playdates, and even bedtime stories. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the three little girls raced around the backyard, their laughter echoing through the air. Alexander watched from the porch, his eyes softer now, his phone forgotten. Beside him, Ethan leaned on the railing, a quiet smile playing on his lips. Strange, isn't it? Alexander said after a while. How one night can change everything. Ethan nodded slowly, his gaze still on the children. Yeah, he said. Sometimes, you think you're saving someone else's world, and it turns out, they save yours instead. And somewhere in the distance the faintest whisper of rain began to fall again. Only this time, it didn't feel like sorrow. It felt like renewal.